Hello and welcome to this special edition of the Incoming Video Podcast. When I started this show back in May of last year, it was in response to a lack of video content on the web regarding new stuff that was coming out. And it was really with me looking back in fond memory of the Colonel Marbles video podcast that I used to enjoy watching. I decided at the time that it was something that would really fit in with what I was trying to do, which was to promote the smaller independent manufacturers, to let people know the sort of stuff that's out there, stuff that they might have missed on some of the main blogs, and just have the opportunity to give my opinion on some of my favourite minis. That show's been remarkably successful and has picked up a lot of fans over the past 10 or 11 months. Obviously, as you see, soon after starting the historical show by popular demand, I picked up and started a sci-fi show as well. And we've just seen episode 40 of the historical show and episode 25 of the sci-fi show. That's 65 shows, each of 10 or 11 minutes of content pretty much for most of them, which you'd be surprised just how much time that actually takes. And that's something I wanted to talk about today. Putting together a show like Incoming is actually very time consuming. You'd be really surprised. Excluding the amount of time that it takes to actually gather the information through daily browsing of the news sites and visiting independent websites, picking up pictures, various other bits and pieces, that stuff kind of goes on during the week. But I then normally collate all that information together over a couple of days at the weekend, record a commentary, then have to edit it, merge the two together and actually then publish the show. That whole process takes between 2.5 and 3 hours per episode. So that's 5 to 6 hours worth of work every weekend. That's a time commitment that I've been finding increasingly difficult to keep to over recent weeks. You may have noticed episodes of Incoming have been arriving late, and episodes of the Meeples and Miniatures podcast have not been arriving at all. And it's essentially all down to just a complete lack of time at this moment. So, as you can probably guess, this has really left me down to one particular conclusion, and that is the fact that I can no longer continue with this particular vidcast. I simply haven't got enough time to do it anymore. Now, I know a lot of you enjoy this, and a lot of you will be gutted to hear that I won't be producing Incoming. And all I can say is that I'm sorry, I don't want to let people down. Unfortunately, sometimes, you simply can't do everything that you want. This is something that I produce in my spare time, same with the podcasts. And unfortunately, that appears to be disappearing quite rapidly at the moment. But I like to think that in some ways I've been a bit of a pioneer. Since Incoming started, we've seen at least 2 or 3 other video review shows start up, none the least being On the Table from Beasts of War, which I'm sure if you've seen it you'll agree that is an excellently produced show, so much better as far as the production values and what goes on in the show, more than I could ever do. So I would heartily recommend that you give that show a look, and you can find that on Tabletop Gaming News as well as the Beasts of War channel on YouTube. However, this will not be the last video podcast that you'll see from me. One thing I've been wanting to do for a long time and really haven't had a chance to sort it out is to do a miniatures review show from the Meeples and Miniatures stable, but actually looking at miniatures that companies have sent me in to review. So what I'm going to be looking at doing next is producing a set of shows based on the miniatures I already have. Some of these are already several months out of date, and I'm very conscious and very guilty of the fact that I'm letting people down by not producing these. So hopefully you'll see all that content over the next few weeks. I'm taking the pictures and starting to record the commentary at the moment. So stay subscribed to the channel, keep an eye open for them, and hopefully I'll cover some subjects that you might be interested in. Producing Incoming has been a very valuable time for me. I've learnt an awful lot. The correspondence and feedback I've got from people who've watched the show has been fantastic, and it's been really great to deal with you all. So I want to say a huge thank you to everybody for supporting the show. Everybody who's watched it, spread the word. Once again, I'm really sorry that I can't continue with these shows in this format anymore. But all I can say is, look out for the new review shows. I hope you enjoy those. keep listening to the podcast. And once again, thank you so much for all your support over the last year. Couldn't have done it without you guys. You've been fantastic. Thank you. So, until we speak again, take care. Happy gaming. Bye.